Russ, a professor of counseling, and I wanted to talk about this interesting concept to bridge the spiritual with the psychological. I read recently about a concept called the pain body, which is essentially a part of our ego, and the ego is filled with drama, trauma. It can be things that really happen to us, but there's a clinging to it. There's an identification with it. So all of the trauma that happened to us, particularly early on, creates, according to this theory, a pain body part of ourself that is then attracted to other pain because the ego fears disintegration. It doesn't want to move beyond the ego. And trust me, folks, there's more to you than just your ego. But it wants its identity. It wants to maintain itself. So this, according to the theory, explains why people get into abusive relationships, and even after they leave an abusive partner, they go to another abusive partner, why we're attracted to the negative, which then bridges to the psychological research, which there's clear research showing that we are attracted to the negative. Our attention gets drawn to the negative, which is called negative attention bias. Plenty of research out there, be sure to look it up. The news knows this, and that's why they present mostly negative stuff or with a negative spin. This is how we focus oftentimes. Our brain is just drawn to this, and it may be a part of this other theoretical piece called the pain body. You know, intuitively it makes sense. There's folks that I know that seem to be drawn, that seem just very heavy metaphorically, and you could say, oh, it's a nice day today, and they would find a way to tell you how it's not a nice day. So it intuitively made sense. So then when I looked into the literature and saw all the research related to negative attention bias, I'm like, wow, this may be another bridge. But it also made me wonder about my videos that I've posted in 2021, because I do have some that are related to positive psychology, which is a course I've taught for years. And there was studies in there, and I'm going to post these to the end. Be sure to take a look at them. 2 studies in particular. One about the power of thought, which I think should change the world. It's called the Milkshake Study by Aaliyah Crum, or I call it that. And then another one about the power of forgiveness. And related to embodied cognitive perception research, and it's just fascinating. And I was curious about, when I posted those studies, why those videos didn't garner more attention. Now, I don't have to make a living on this, or I've got a good job as a professor, so I don't need it that way, but I want people to understand the power of thought and forgiveness. And by the way, forgiveness is not about reconciliation. Don't hang around people that make you feel terrible or that have caused you pain. No, forgiveness is about you giving up the anger and the hurt, beginning that process. Okay, so I looked at my videos, the top 10 that I produced in 2021 that were either positive or neutral. Got about 2,400 views. And these were related to positive psychology, mindset, coping skills. I'll mention something in a minute here, but then I looked at the videos that were about disorders, narcissism, psychopathy, betrayal. They got over 3,700, 1,300 more views. Now, these are just the top 10, then the positive. So it does kind of support negative attention bias by the videos that we watch on YouTube or wherever it may be. And that could be related, that our pain body is attracted to that. The ego is wanting to maintain its identity. So then let's bring it to it. Let's end this on a positive note. Oh, and first of all, it makes sense. The theory behind attention bias is that in order to survive, when we were cave people, we couldn't walk out of the cave noticing how beautiful the sunset was. We had to be on the lookout for the saber-toothed tiger. So that's the theory behind why we are drawn to the negative. The pain body is a new theory, okay? So it's just related to maintaining that ego identity, and that's what we understand. Awareness is key to all of this. Awareness that we are attracted to this, making sure that we're not triggered, or being aware of when we are triggered. But some beautiful stuff that is happening, research that's happening, is that positive priming can attenuate negative attention bias. Now, positive priming is just a fancy word for saying How are you feeding yourself emotionally and psychologically throughout the day? Do you have a positive image on your phone? Do you have a positive image as your screen, caption on your computer? Are there any quotes? Do you listen to songs? Do you make room for good music or just rest and relaxation, reading something enjoyable, taking walks? Little bits of positive priming help attenuate negative attention bias. So it's really positive stuff. I'll put those 2 videos about forgiveness and the power of thought on the back of this. Let me know your comments. I hope you have a great new year. Looking forward to 2022. Let's focus on what we want to create. All right, good people. Talk to you soon.